Finn, yeah, that is FY and yeah, this is my first kind of FIFA content on this channel. I'm not going to play or anything, but this is just changes that I think are very necessary for the game for it to improve, because everyone knows it's been the same for a very long time. Okay, so let's get into it. But yeah, before we do that, please leave a like on this video to show appreciation. Comment if you want me to do a specific topic in the next video, and yeah, subscribe to become part of the community. Okay, so first thing I think is manager customization. I think that's a big thing people have been talking about for a long time, because if you can create and design your own player with their specific look, surely you should be able to do that with your own manager. It shouldn't be a set thing. It shouldn't be only a default manager. Okay, or even use a real life manager, like using Pochettino or using whatever, you know, use your own customized manager. Okay, next up, it's still kind of management, but it's a retiring player to management look. Okay, so this is very important. I remember I used Ibrahimovic a few seasons back. I played as him in FIFA, and when I retired and became a manager, it didn't look at all like him. So I think they need to make the vital changes that if you retire with a certain player, that player is going to be the manager. That's what the manager is going to look like. I think it should be Ibrahimovic or Ronaldo, whoever you retire with, in like a tux, in a suit. And yeah, I think that's what they need to do. They've been very poor on that, and they really need to work on that. Okay, next up I want to talk about is sponsors. Okay, so I think you should be able to write a contract. I think you did this in older FIFAs, but have a contract 3, 4, 5 years, or however long you choose. And once that contract runs out, you get to choose a new sponsorship. Okay, so whether it's Adidas or Nike or whatever, but more like, for instance, Manchester United uses Chevrolet, so like a car brand, but once that runs out, they get to choose if they want to renew it or use a different one. Okay, so I think that's something they need to do. I think it makes it a bit more realistic, and also it changes up the kit a tiny bit. Okay, now the next one would be kit customization. Okay, so obviously people might go a bit crazy, but other people might just look at other inspirations for a new United kit, for example, on the internet and make that. But the thing is, you can only change it season by season. You can't go halfway through the season, just to make it more realistic. I think something that needs to be done, and just so it doesn't feel like the old kit and the same kit, and that you're not moving anywhere, if that makes sense. Okay, next up on my list would be managing countries. Okay, now there are certain countries that you cannot manage. I think it's because of licensing in FIFA, which is a huge problem. I'm South African, right? So South Africa is there, you can use that. But for example, you can't use Croatia, and I think that's a huge problem. I think they really need the rights, or they need to work on putting Croatia in the game. Because I mean, Croatia reached the final of the World Cup. South Africa didn't even make the World Cup, and they're in the game. Okay, so, and like, yeah, I can't see why they can't. I think they really need to push for that. And yeah, so Croatia needs to be a manageable country in the game. Okay, next up on the list would have to be scouting countries. Okay, there aren't enough countries to scout it in the game. Okay, because I'll look at it and you can scout, yeah, you can scout a lot, right? But for example, one of the best players of all time, people might think, is Ryan Giggs, Premier League wise. Okay, and a really great player nowadays is Gareth Bale, right? They're both from Wales. You can't scout Wales in FIFA, and I don't understand that. I don't understand why you can't. I think it's a country that has a lot of talent, lots of youth players that are coming up, and just lots of, you know, a wide variety of players. And I think it's very bad that we can't use those players. I don't know why. I don't understand why we can't scout a country like that. I don't know why that's not considered. I mean, I think you can scout Saudi Arabia, you can go to, once again, as I said, South Africa, but yet you can't scout a country like Wales, which is huge in their football. Okay, but otherwise, guys, I think that is it for my FIFA changes. Yeah, I know this is a bit different from my other content. If you want to see more real life football videos, go check out my channel, go check out the other videos on the channel. But this is it. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you. Cheers.